Hey everyone, Tofu here. Welcome back to SDRA2. It's a doozy. Sure is a doozy. Last time, a lot of things happened. And if you didn't see it, you should not watch this video because a lot of things are about to be spoiled. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's get several elephants out of the room. First of all, we're playing a Shobai right now, which is cool, I guess. Not really my choice of who I would have liked the POV to swap to, but well, whatever. It'll be an interesting perspective. Second of all, Shinji is dead. I don't even know where his body is. He got like fucking completely burnt. I think, yeah, there it is. So RIP to Shinji, the GOAT. Also, Sora is alive, which, like, should be expected, but she got pushed, like, at the top of the... She got pushed off, like, the very top of the tower, somehow survived, and Hiroha seems to be a little more knowledgeable on that than she maybe should. Maybe she has something to do with that. I don't know. This chapter's just taking a turn, you know? It's just taking a turn, and I have no idea what's going on. That's not true. I have one idea that I want to put out there. First of all, actually several ideas. Sorry, I'm just going to theorize for a little bit. So, if you look at Shobai's handbook, you can see that his handbook, instead of having like the option to input a reset code, it says administrator code activation. Now, I can't do anything with that, but that leads me to believe that he put in his reset code correctly and gained, like, administrator powers over the virtual world that we are in. We're in a virtual world, by the way. That was confirmed a few episodes ago. So I wonder if he is responsible for some of the things that have been happening to us here, like the snow and whatnot. Because, like, he also said something weird about, like, oh, now we can leave the tower now that a body's been found. And I'm like, I don't think Monocro ever said anything like that, so I don't know why Shobai would know that. I don't know. He's been weird, so I wonder if Shobai had something to do with any of this. And as for Sora, what I think maybe happened to her, because Iroha described it as, like, Sora fell, and she just instantly disappeared. Like, she phased through the floor or something, and now she's just back. Like nothing happened, even though she should absolutely be dead from a fall like that. So what I kind of think happened is, in the virtual world, maybe Sora did die, but there's something, like, weird about her for some reason with her memory or something, that, like, she woke up in the real world, learned something, I guess, and then immediately plugged herself back into the virtual world somehow, and now she's fine because of that, or something like, I don't know. That's just my best guess. Because, like, Sora's been acting weird since we have seen her come back. Like, now she's hiding something and she knows something. So I feel like her falling somehow made her access some place that might be the real world, might be another place or something, that gave her some information. And it's interesting because that is ironically what reminds me of how Nagito was in original DR2, where he found something and learned something, then started acting a bit weird toward everyone, and I wonder if that's what's happening with Sora somewhat here as well. So I don't know, but we won't get any answers by just standing around, so I'm gonna shut up and just start investigating. Now, we already looked at the Monocro file, pretty sure, but I'm just gonna look at it again, just to kind of refresh my memory and everyone else watching. So we'll just take a quick look at this again. Victim is Shinji Kasai. Time of death unknown. Location of the body. Power room in the basement of the Tower of Babel. Cause of death unknown. Murder weapon unknown. Every part other than the lower body, which was protected by his fireproof clothing, was burnt to a crisp. Other than that, his neck also had a stab wound, and multiple fractures were all over his body. Well, darn. Also, I think I'm probably going to do a little bit more of a casual voice for Shobai as he's reading a lot of this stuff here with the investigation, just because his voice is very gruff and kind of hurts my throat a bit. So since he's going to be talking a lot now, I'm going to try to keep it a little bit more casual, I guess. So what is this? This wall. Something's off about this one. Looks like all the other boring walls in this room, but this one also has no dust on it. Don't tell me. What? Oh! When I touched the suspicious part, the wall moved and a small gap appeared. A secret passage? No, I've been trapped in here for days. How could I have missed this? When I crouched through the small passage, I found a small set of stairs leading to some place. At the end of those stairs, another door was waiting for me. What the hell? Rats. When I tried opening the door, I just simply couldn't. It was like it was just a drawing on the wall. Shobai, where's the door hole? Just like the one at the entrance of this tower. Waiting for something to happen here seemed useless. But a hidden staircase at a door that's used to lead to someplace. Could it all be a coincidence that this was all hidden inside the crime scene? This could be an important clue. Alright, well that kind of throws a wrench in my Shobai knew everything that was going on here theory. Because, like, he seemed surprised by that. And he also seemed like he genuinely couldn't escape. And if he was, like, the admin, then he probably could have, but I don't know. There are burn marks all over the room. Monocro was the one who stopped the fire, they said. The fire itself isn't much of a problem. The important part is that the culprit must have used the fire in some way to trick us. So the question is, why did the fire have to happen? The perfect crimes are always the smallest of crimes, obviously. If you increase the scale and make it more complicated, it only draws more eyes. So in that sense, burning someone to death is something unimaginable for any sane person unless they want to get caught. But that's the rules of the outside world. In this place, common sense doesn't work the same. And then there's Kanade Otonakoji. Sometimes stuff doesn't always go by the rulebook. That aside, I should still take note of this fire. Burn marks. Okay. Let's look at the corpse now. Shinji Kasai's corpse. His upper body was burnt to a crisp, and his face is melted down to the point where it's indistinguishable. Ugh. Let's just get to the point. Look at his injuries. Yeah, it looks like his little necklace thingy's gone. Which is very sad, because that was a very cute thing that he had. The monochrome file said there was a stab wound near his neck. Well, well, well. On his sooty black neck, there was a long stab wound that was around 2 inches deep. Because most of the body had burnt down, there wasn't much blood near it right now, but I imagine there was a lot of blood loss when this was made. The monochrome file didn't detail the cause of death, nor the murder weapon. This wound could most likely be the cause of death. No. Upon closer look, I spot something suspicious. On the middle of the wound, the skin looked to be a bit dislocated for some reason. Damn it, it's hard to see anything because it's all burnt. I guess I just have to take a closer look at the risk of damaging the corpse. I opened the wound a bit to inspect the inner parts of the lesion. Even the insides are all burnt, as expected. But I was soon able to find what I was looking for. 2 stab wounds, one on top of the other. At first glance, it looks to be someone just stabbed him in the neck with shrapnel. But on closer inspection, there's a much deeper gash underneath the first wound. It was hard to detect that because of the burnt marks. Even I almost missed that. But that wasn't all of it. There are a bunch of scabs of all sizes on his body. The monochrome file did not mention the fractures on his body. The way this skin was scratched by something. These are bruises. The fractures and the marks all point towards him suffering from multiple bruises. That seems to be all there is to it. The fire made it difficult to perform even the simplest autopsy. But it looks like that's all the important info I can get. Now the question is, which one of these actually caused his death? But all that will be revealed during the class trial. Okay. Well, that's a lot of uncomfortable stuff to look at. The machines inside the power room were broken to pieces. There's blood here. Yeah, there's a lot of it. There are blood marks on the machines, and judging by the fact that they weren't destroyed by the fire, and that the amount of blood seems to be significant. Doesn't look like it was sprayed out normally from some wound. This was made from the body having direct contact with the machine. Did they cause a fire to try to erase this? The culprit is one hell of a dumbass. Wait, let's think the other way around. Perhaps the machine break-in is what caused the fire. And if that's true, that means the blood here is... But that doesn't fully explain why they had to go this far and still leave out evidence in the open. I need to listen to the alibis from the others. I should hurry. Alright, well, I've already talked to everyone. So... Oh, I didn't look at this. Burnt stun gun. There's a stun gun on the ground. Looks like it's been turned to the point where it can't be used anymore. Just dropping evidence left and right, are we? Is this case's culprit the stupidest shithead ever? Every evidence so far showed that the culprit had no intention of hiding the evidence. If they weren't actually stupid enough to forget to do that, that means they either didn't feel the need to or slipped the evidence on purpose. At any point, the fact that the stun gun's here and it's already burnt means that it was here when the murder occurred. That reveals some quite interesting stuff. The fact that there's a stun gun here when we've been trapped in this tower for days means that somebody was carrying this long before we got trapped here. Well, not that I care much about that. Alright. I don't like that he's talking about how stupid the culprit is, because there is one character here who has been called stupid more times than anyone else. I don't have good feelings about this. But I think that's everything here. I've already talked to Sora and Iroha, so I don't think they have anything new to say.
Shobai, please help us clear the trial.
Yeah, and this is just the same, I think. Okay. Well, I think that's everything in here then. So let's go. Wait, what? What did I miss? What did I miss? Oh, this. Glass shards, okay. My bad. Shards of glass that look to be from the machine parts in the room are scattered on the floor. Bit too obvious if you ask me. A stab wound from the Monocro file were probably caused by these little fuckers. I can't seem to find one with blood on them. The shards are pretty badly damaged from the fire. Even so, if the culprit had planned this one out correctly, they should have easily taken care of this. So that leaves us with two possibilities. One, they didn't have the time for that, or the culprit was a dumbass who didn't think of it. And the other is... It's just a theory for now. I should still keep that in mind, though. Alright. Well, that's everything in there. Surely there is more to investigate throughout the tower, though. What are you doing up here?
Sora fell from the top floor, I think. She just phased through the floor and disappeared below. I didn't believe it myself when I saw it, and when I touched the ground after that, it was hard solid.
He's not, right? Is he gonna fucking jump? No fucking way. Is this like the fucking final Dead Room equivalent? Oh my god. Guess it wouldn't hurt to try. Oh, he's throwing a lighter now. I thought he was just gonna fucking jump. That would have been raw as shit, I can't lie. Can you even see that far down? Yeah, well, I don't think you'd be able to see it this high up. Why the hell did I think that I'd be able to see it from here? I mean, you can go back down and look for it, I guess. I don't see anything. Not here. The lighter disappeared. Even if it was thrown from such a height and thus fell far away, it should have at least been shattered to pieces. Yet no shards could be seen. Someone like me couldn't possibly miss something like a single lighter. And that means... What? No, I really wanted to see him jump. That would have been badass as fuck. Ahem, mic testing, can you hear me well? Sorry, it feels like I just woke up from a 1,000-year slumber, like a certain 1,000-year-old demon behind a 1,000-year door, but I don't know what I'm talking about. I imagine that you finished your investigation, so I'd say it's about time for the class trial. Everyone gather around the class trial entrance on the first floor of the Monocruise as usual. I know it should be obvious at this point, but don't be late or miss out on our big event. Foo-foo, then I'll see you all later. I guess that's it then. I would like to investigate more about this weird phenomenon. But most importantly and incredibly is that Bubblehead wasn't making this story up. Just how would the discovery of this phenomenon affect today's trial, I wonder? I should get moving before it gets too late. Damn, man! Oh, that would have been so fucking badass if Shobai just fucking jumped. You're here, Shobai. God, it's so weird! So weird seeing her like this. Not in the trial. Well, we're about to be in a trial, but, you know. So, is this everyone? Wait, are we sure this is everyone? We're all here. There's 8 of us, including Shobai, who got last place this time. Is the protagonist just always doomed to get last place in these every time, no matter who it is? 8? That's all we have left?
We started out with 16 if we include Teruya, and there's just half of us left.
Oh my god, Yuki. Yes, and one of us will leave this place dead today. Or perhaps every one of us will perish, and this will be our very tomb. Yuki? Yuki, what did you just... Yeah, what's this? There's something important I feel like I should be remembering right now. Yeah, you, like... I don't know if he's, like, fully him right now, but, like... I don't know. I mean, if he is fully him right now, should Shouldn't Mikado notice that too? And Nikkei, I guess, and Iroha? But they said they didn't know what he looked like, but... I don't know if Mikado does. Fufu, do you know? Do you know? Fufu, he knows. He fucking knows. Everyone's here, eh? It's good that everyone's gotten used to this, so I don't have to wait so long for you all to gather. Or maybe it's because the number has gotten so low. Which is it, I wonder, Fufu? Comrades, I will wait for you down below. Now enter the elevator in front of you. Yuki. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't like his eyes like that. Yuki, look at me. What? Is it because Shinji died? I know. You knew him better than anyone else in this room. But you mustn't give up. We're still alive. So please, don't lose hope just yet. Yeah, we're still alive. As long as we're alive, we can and will do our best to keep it that way. That's the spirit, everyone. As Sora said, we mustn't lose hope. You should shut the hell up. Are we done now? If everyone's prepared, we should go down already. Oh well, seems like everyone's feeling very complicated after what happened in the tower. This class trial, I don't think they're going to be able to solve it on their own. At least I ain't sure yet. Perhaps I'll put just a bit of effort in this time. The shorter this trial gets, the earlier I will be able to test out that thing. What? He's talking about the reset code? Alright, well let's see what everyone's doing. Nikkei's completely quiet. Yuki. There's still half of us left. Half. Gulp. What'd she say, gulp? Fufu, the time has come. What are you talking about? Are you talking about him? No fucking way, dude. What is gonna happen in this trial?
We don't have Kokoro, and Kanade's gone too. Will we really be okay?
What is it? Just what can't I remember? Bro. Oh. Let's just get out of here. Wait, Sora said that. Sora? Literally unplayable. Alright, well. Let's go on the elevator. To the class trial, I guess. That was a really short investigation, by the way. And the elevator just keeps getting smaller. Man, it feels really empty now that Shinji's gone because he was so big. The elevator that felt cramped once felt so empty now. Was the elevator always this spacious? It almost feels pleasant having more room to work with. On the other hand, the noise that the elevator makes feels more noticeable this time around that. I can't help but raise my eyebrows. The others would usually rant on about our friendship and teamwork and stuff around this time. But they're keeping their mouths shut. Guess they're at their limits, huh? Now, will the trial be successfully finished in this situation? Well, not that it matters much for me. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? Oh, okay. Foo-foo-foo! So you've arrived, the chosen 8 heroes destined to save this world! I have been waiting, for I, the great Devil King Monocro, will... Hey, how dare you all ignore me like that? You normally don't even move to your seats before I tell you to... As if we have the time or mind to play with your dull tricks. Would you start already? Well then... Well, here we go. A bit rude, wouldn't you say? I just got my memory back, so I was willing to celebrate this event with you.
Not that I care though, but why did you lose your memories in the first place?
You got one thing right. We don't care. Just start the trial already. So one of us here killed Shinji. Don't like how quiet Nikke and Teruya are. Shinji Kasai, the brawn of their group. You can't just ignore the difference in physical abilities in these cases. Even if you got some strength, it wouldn't be easy to win against him on a one-on-one fight. And someone killed him, which probably means they didn't use a straightforward method. Oh my god, look how red this screen is now! There's only Sora left! Trial, mystery, tension, whatever. It's not like someone outside this group is the killer. Hell, even I have some suspects. Now then, how should we play this game? The start of the trial of death. I would like to save. I'm still saving in file 2 because I want Sora to stay in file 1 until we get her back, which we will get her back, for sure. She's not going to die in this trial. Alright, with that said, I'm probably just going to spend the rest of the episode going over the truth bulletin stuff. And then I will start the trial properly in the next episode. So, if you want to stop watching now, totally fine. I love you. Have a good day. But if you don't care and you just want to hear me ramble as I go over the bullets again, then feel free to stay. So I'm just going to do that now. Alright, Shobai, still doesn't have any skills. Which sucks. I'll have to check that in the actual menu to see if I can access them at all, if I really am just fucked here. Alright, Monocro file number 4. The victim is Shinji Kasai. The estimated time of death is unknown. Place of the body was discovered is unknown. The cause of death is unknown. The bottom part of the body is burnt, including the fireproof suit. There are multiple sharp cuts on the abdomen and in various other places. Stab wounds. Shinji's neck seems to only have one neck wound when you first look at it, but upon closer inspection, there was another. The information wasn't in the Monocro file, but it's hard to tell because the body is burnt too much. Bruises on body. There are scratches, cuts, and other injuries all over Shinji's body. If you see the Monocro file, it states there are also some fractures and bruises. However, further details can't be looked into because of the burnt state of the body. Burn marks. Apparently there was a fire inside the power room. Monocro put the fire out eventually, but why would the killer do something so obvious like start a fire? There has to be a culprit behind that fire. Shards of glass. Fragments of glass were smashed all over the power room and shattered around. They're irregular and quite sharp, which was mentioned in the Monocro file. Glass fragments must have had something to do with this case. Broken machine. Inside the power room, many of the unknown machines were destroyed. In addition, there was a large amount of blood on the rubble. If these machines use electricity, they could burst and catch fire. Is that what caused the fire? Probably. Secret staircase. There was a secret plate behind the wall on one side of the ventilation chamber. There is a door at the bottom of the stairs, but it feels the same as the front door of the Tower of Babel. Why does such a staircase even exist? Burnt stun gun. Stun gun found on the floor next to the burning debris. It was burnt on the floor, meaning it must have been there since before the fire. Alibi list. Oh, that picture is cool. From what Iroha said, I could get a few alibis for the time of the incident. Iroha and Yuruka were investigating together. Teruya and Mikado were in the meeting room together. If that's true, then those who don't have an alibi should be looked into. Uh-huh. According to what Iroha said, when she was on the first floor, Sora fell from the top of the tower and disappeared. I think it's nonsense, but why would she make up a lie like that? It might have something to do with the incident. Yuruko left Sora after talking with her near the top of the tower, but couldn't find Sora for a while after that. They should have encountered each other if Sora went downstairs. How did she disappear in such a short time? In such a short amount of time? Okay. So what do I make of this? I have no idea. No idea. What I am pretty sure of, though, is that there's probably a connection between where Sora fell to and this secret staircase, because what that seems to believe is, or what that seems to imply, is that Sora fell through the floor, went to some secret basement area, and then came back up through the staircase here. That would make sense to me. But what does that mean for Sora then? Why? Because, like, if she came up through here, that means she was in the power room, which is where the body was, which doesn't look good for her, but I don't know. Alibi list, by the way. So, Iroha and Yuruka were investigating together. Teruya and Mikado were in the meeting room together. So obviously that doesn't necessarily clear them, but it likely does. Now, I do want to say, like, I am very worried about Iroha being the culprit, because obviously so much has been set up with her this chapter, and, like, she was supposed to be the culprit. But first of all, I just feel like her being the culprit now, after everything, just kind of makes her look too obvious. And the game is clearly pointing you in the direction of, hey, the culprit is someone stupid. Iroha is stupid. Iroha is probably the culprit. But I don't know. I just don't know if... Because, like, this game has been fucking with my expectations like crazy. That's, like, that just feels too obvious to me. But that could be what they want me to think. But another thing is that, like, from the way that Iroha talked, it sounded like she had been planning to kill Sora by just pushing her off the top of the tower. But that didn't work. For whatever reason. So, because, like, Iroha's murder plan failed, I guess, that makes me think that she's not responsible for Shinji at all, and, like, she is just completely surprised by this. So I kind of don't think it's Iroha, actually. But I think she's definitely involved. I think she definitely did something. I don't know, though. But, like, who else could it be, then? Because, like, Sora... I don't want it to be Sora. I don't... Like, why? I just don't... Why would she do that? Like, I guess it could be Nikke. Oh, Nikke honestly feels like the most likely person to me, to be honest. Because, I mean, we knew he was going to confront Shinji about something, about being the traitor and whatnot. And I guess that confrontation may have gone poorly. And he has been quiet here. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I went into this chapter thinking either Iroha, Nikke, or both of them. One of them is going to kick the bucket this chapter. And I thought for sure it was building up to one of them being the victim. I thought that was for sure going to happen. But I don't know. I guess not. I guess if not that, then I feel like one of them has to be the killer. That just makes sense for how their arcs have been going. So, and I'm leaning more towards Nikke than Iroha. I don't know. I feel it's either Sora or Nikke. And I don't want it to be either of them. Okay, well, that is all of that. What happens if I do this? Oh! Wait. I still have them equipped? I can still have these equipped? Well, that's good, I guess. Okay. Insufficient skill points. Oh, that costs 20, goddamn. Is that really that broken that it needs to be worth 20? I don't think scrum debates are that hard. I mean, I know I fucked up the last one, but whatever. I mean... Yeah, I want that for sure. I want that for sure. Definitely want that. It's hospitality. I mean, that's kind of nice to have, and it's cheap. I mean, I'd have to get rid of something with 6 in order to use it. So, yeah, I don't care about spoiler that much. That is ridiculously expensive, in my opinion. For scrum debates that usually only happen once per trial anyways. That's just kind of insane. Alright, well, I guess we got our skills then, so that's good. I was worried about that. But in that case, I'm just going to end the episode here. And next time we will start the trial. It's going to be a doozy. Sure is. Alright, thank you guys for watching. See you next time. Goodbye.